some Supercar thunder one more time at Winton. The Pizza Hut Winton SuperSprint, race number 14 of our championship, and another scorching start by Cam Waters. And he applied it so well. Down the inside comes Reynolds. Van Gisbergen's got him covered. Chaz now moves up into third, but it'll be Waters that heads it into turn 3 over Gizzy. Mostert's got down the inside nicely. Reynolds back in fourth position, and then Holdsworth.
Reynolds was actually helped by his teammate there because he tried to fight down the inside of Van Gisbergen. Then he was on the wrong side of the road with Mostert, and in behind, Lee Holdsworth helped him get back into the freight train. Nice start by Cam Waters.
Beautiful start. Didn't look like he had much in the way of wheel spin. It didn't bog down. Brody gets a little tag there from Brock Feeney as they make the run up into turn 7. Lap 1 congestion is always tricky at this racetrack as they fight tooth and nail for position early on a cold tyre. On the outside of the Newlon car there is Scott Pye. He's got Gary Jacobson in behind him. There's a lot of push and shove that we don't necessarily always see back in the pack, and that's Will Davis, and he's got James Courtney all over the back of them into the left-hander at turn 10. On the outside, and contact with Jack LeBrock, and just escorts him slightly wide. And you can see that Courtney now covers him off as they make the run into the second last corner. Chris Pither on the outside down here, and Jordan Boys. In fact, the two wild cards in the field, Jaden Ojeda and Jordan Boys, tangling down there at turn 4. Typical lap 1 action. This is the other angle. And then they got on the radio, hustled them both back into gear to concentrate and get back on. Margin now 3/4 of a second. The gap between Waters and Van Gisbergen. A couple of guys just moving their cars around, making sure that they don't make too much either tyre temp, brake temp, or perhaps even water temp to the engine.
You hurt yourself on the opening lap with the front tyre.
Did he swipe him? If he didn't, it was very close. That was Thomas Randall in the Castrol entry making his way in. Here's the other angle. Ooh, he had to prop very hard. There's a bit of time in that. James Courtney now eclipsing Will Brown's fastest first sector.
Ooh, last dive.
Inside. Thomas Randall said this morning that the biggest challenge is that when he looked down and saw an 18, he celebrated and thought it was fantastic. But when they called on the radio after qualifying yesterday, he said P14, and he went, oh.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Well, and it makes the point that it wasn't very long ago that if you looked at your dash when you crossed the line and you'd done an 18 something, you would have high-fived yourself.
100%.
But it's so crazy quick, and there's not much in it at the moment. But nonetheless, he's making solid progress as one of the rookies. So both Brown and Courtney stopped very early, and their engineers are counselling them at the moment, almost driving to a number. So Tom Moore told Will Brown, the leaders are doing 20.9s if you want to drive and understand that number. Drive to it. And then correspondingly, Sam Scafidi spoke to James Courtney and said 20.7, very good lap time. So they're monitoring their speed relative to those at the sharp end. I just heard Scott Pye light up on the radio. I don't know why, but he wasn't happy, but something's gone awry there with the new line entry.
I think you got to get David out of that position. Come in, do the stop and get on with it.
Winterbottom, the other Team 18 entry here, Irwin Racing. Rears for them.
For Richard Holway and the engineering team behind Scott Pye, the confirmation here is that this car has power steering dramas, which is a real shame. They had a great day yesterday.
Oh, look at him wrestling this thing, Chad, to try and get it to turn. So that's not the first time they've had a power steering problem in there either.
So, nice stop. That might be the best one, I reckon.
That was very quick.
And here he is. Here he is. So he's just going past. He's just coming back out now, and here comes Van Gisbergen. There you go. Now Shane will come from the outside and try to get a run off 2 to get down the inside at 3. He's got the run. Can he get it done? He moves it over. He's done a dive. He's got it down the inside. Well done. Beautifully executed manoeuvre.
Great job. And you know what? Cam covered so aggressively at 1. He hooked it over the curb a bit and it stumbled out the other side and hurt the exit speed. So Van Gisbergen did the dummy and then did the diagonal across the road late, and there was nothing that Waters could do.
Whoa!
Lights back. Remember, he's going to be gripped up as well very shortly, so he will not go down without a fight. There's been nothing in terms of speed difference, no performance difference at all between these guys through most of the sessions this weekend. Riding here with Feeney, he's tucked in behind Randall. Both of them came into the weekend as Winton main game rookies. Both of them got the benefit of the recent test here. And Brock down the inside. doing what his teammate did a little earlier and doing it well. Nice job, moves up a spot.
So left-hand side tyres, loaded tyres for David Reynolds.
I'm seeing more working side today than yesterday.
Yep.
I think there were, I feel as though there were more rears done. I need to go back and check the data.
There's the leaders. So there's Van Gisbergen driving by. There's Cam Waters driving by. There's Will Brown driving by. And there's Mostert driving by.
So Heimgartner's the one behind. He's got the warm tyre advantage as David tries to get that car up to speed. Remember that they only just recently stopped car number 8 for left side tyres as well. We watched the stop. We talked about it being a 3.8. For David Reynolds, then it was a 4.4. So there's 0.6 of a second difference in the stops between them. And let's put Andre right in touch with him. So Reynolds has got a bit of pace here. Remember that the next guy in the queue that he's after is Brown, who stopped very, very early. So there's tyres on that car will be hurting, and now they're just going to retire Scott Pye's car. Power steering traumas for him. Here's the onboard. And having a look at the lunge down the inside here at turn 11 for David Reynolds. Nice job. Chaz tried to argue the point, but there really wasn't much he could do. So maybe the changes that they made to Cam Waters were better for quali, but maybe not so good compared to yesterday's race car. But we also had, because of the reversal of positions, you had Van Gisbergen, the one that was eating the hot air. It's hurting his tyres, hurting his brakes, hurting engine performance ever so slightly. So we might be seeing the clear air effect here for Van Gisbergen as well. It's hard work at the back end of the race when grip eludes you, and you've got to be so kind in your manipulation of the car. Nice move down the inside by Lee Holdsworth. Space given by Heimgartner, who battles back on what will become the outside at turn 11. And Lee's got this job done. That'll get him up into 6th position now. He wants to try and clear Brown, and he needs to shake Holdsworth in the process. He doesn't want to end up getting passed by Lee, which makes that next task even that much harder, and he's half a chance to end up getting snapped up. Look at, here we go. Lee down the inside, and I reckon he might have him. He has.
Nice. Nice manoeuvre. Well done. No contact. Nice flow. Momentum coming out of turn 2. Was able to position the car nicely into 3. Sneaked straight down the inside of Mostert versus Heimgartner. Oh, this looks ugly. I don't want to be Thomas Randall now. Nah.
You foresaw that somehow. So there were too many cars all arguing for the same spot, and there's another one of them, Jake Kostecki. Whoa. Van Gisbergen here, 1 lap remains. And he's got a 5.4 second margin. So here we go. Look at this, Mark. So we've got Brown, we've got Mostert, we've got Heimgartner, and this is a wild drag race into turn 1. Trio of supercars locked in combat. Who pops out the other side here? There's a little rub.
What great racing. That is great racing. Will Brown has done a remarkable job stopping on lap 5 and being able to fend these guys off. If he can get to the end of this lap and keep Heimgartner at bay, when he come in on lap 21, it's just extraordinary. 16 lap difference. So what he's got to do now is got to get it to the inside here. Don't park it wide. That's the way. Well done. Nice job.
I love the coaching from afar. Heimgartner tries to position the car so that if he can be wide at 8, he can block pass at 9.
And then just pull up here, let him run into you. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Mate, he can't hear you. Just on the QT.
Thanks, mate.
What a supreme performance again by Shane Van Gisbergen. Greets the checkered flag at Winton for another batch of points in his unrelenting march. 5.2 seconds, Van Gisbergen over Waters. Still the battle continues. What a great battle this is. Heimgartner has another run at Brown through the final corner.
Bumps him,
and
nice.
He's going to literally race him to the line. Well done, boys. Great entertainment. Yeah, and I think a little bit of running in fresh air would have also helped Shane. We didn't get to see that yesterday because he was bottled up. Here's the confirmation of our results. After 36 laps of Winton Motor Raceway, Van Gisbergen and Waters swapped positions relative to yesterday's sprint race. David Reynolds and his teammate Lee Holdsworth, 3rd and 4th. Nice performance for both the boys. Chaz Mostert, Will Brown, Andre Heimgartner, they turned on a great show for us in 5, 6 and 7. followed then by Courtney Winterbottom and Di Pasquale. Brodie Kostecki looks like they're finding more pace there with that car. Brock Feeney also charging up a little bit towards the back end, and one or two guys there at the back end of the field with some trauma. We had an overheating transaxle for Gary Jacobson and a power steering problem for Scott Pye. Sadly, we've heard that one before in that garage. Hopefully they get it rectified for our